So I'm sure you're more than familiar with seaweed, that slimy green stuff that wraps its tendrils around your legs when you're out having a nice swim. But there's a little bit more to seaweed than just its sliminess.
You may have even eaten seaweed, probably wrapped around some sushi. It's an almost a meaty taste, but here in the UK, a pioneering brand is finding a very innovative use for seaweed. One that they hope will tackle pollution and the warming of our planet. And we'll get onto that in a minute, but first of all, here's some background.
So what you may not know is that seaweed is found in a whole host of different products, and it's used in the manufacturing of all sorts of different items, and it's becoming an increasingly valuable commodity around the world. In fact,
it's in your chocolate milk, your raspberry jam, chewing gum, bubble gum, even in your salad dressing. It's in the sweets you chew, your jelly and your ice cream. It's in processed meats and even in your hot dogs. It clarifies your beer and the wine you drink with friends. The pharmaceutical industry use it for the pills you pop and your grandfather's dental mouldings. It's in your toothpaste, your mud mask, your shaving cream, your shampoo, skin cleansers and skin creams. It's used to fertilise the food you eat, to bind the charcoal you cook your sausages on, and even in the extinguisher for when you burn them.
Now most of us care about our image to some extent. Whether it's to play the part of the outdoor adventurer, the urban hipster, or the whitewater kayaker.
And this has made the fashion industry one of the most valuable manufacturing sectors, behind only the automotive industry and the technology industry. However, there's one thing that the fashion industry should be somewhat less proud of. Their carbon emissions are approximately double that of the airline industry and the shipping industry combined, contributing an estimated 10% to total global carbon emissions, and according to the World Bank, this is set to rise by an additional 50%. The rise of so-called fast fashion, providing a huge and ever-changing choice of clothes at almost unimaginably low prices, has resulted in a surge in clothing production, of which 87% finds itself in landfill or being incinerated. Here in the UK, we throw out somewhere between 15 and 20 pieces of clothing every single second. Most of these garments are full of lead and pesticides and other chemicals, and the highly industrialised and oil-reliant industry results in 500,000 tonnes of plastic microfibres being released into the ocean every year. That's the equivalent of 50 billion plastic bottles.
So what is the good news? Where is the optimism? How is seaweed going to combat these issues?
Enter Adam Costello and his proudly British surfwear brand, Inland Sea. The brand was founded just before the now almost ubiquitous awareness of plastic pollution, and was one of the first to recycle old plastic bottles into clothing.
Since then, other brands have taken to using plastic in their t-shirts and recycling plastic bottles. However, as Adam points out, plastic doesn't biodegrade, and it still relies on an oil-rich industry. To tackle this, Adam's company Inland Sea has taken to replacing the plastic in their t-shirts with seaweed, and making t-shirts out of seaweed.
But what exactly makes seaweed so special? Well, it's fast growing, meaning it absorbs even more carbon than a normal forest. In fact, seaweed forest absorbs around 20 times more carbon per acre than an equivalent terrestrial forest. It grows and absorbs carbon fast and is teeming with life. In fact, a kelp forest can be as biodiverse as a rainforest. And by investing in local British seaweed farms, Adam and Inland Sea hope that for every farm they support, they can offset the equivalent of flying from London to New York 8 times. And Adam believes that each t-shirt produced this way will be carbon neutral or even carbon negative, meaning its production absorbs more carbon than it releases. And on top of that, they'll be fully biodegradable.
To begin with, Adam is hoping to produce just 500 t-shirts with your backing. Now this doesn't sound like a lot, but it's really there to prove that it can work. He's not out to make millions. And their bold statement is that this will be one of the most environmentally friendly clothing ranges ever produced. And their hope is that other brands will take up this technology. His big goal in all of this really is to show that the concept works, and to show that it is with action, not just words, that we can solve the climate crisis, that we can help with biodiversity, that we can make these sustainable products. And personally, I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm backing it. I would applaud you if you did. It's a great concept. I do think this is a fantastic idea. I love the optimism. I love the creativity of all this. So if you think this is as good an idea as I do, once you subscribe to this channel and liked and all that sort of stuff, go over to the Kickstarter. I'll link it up here somewhere and I'll put it down in the comments. But go and support them and send me a comment. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? But please do back this Kickstarter. Have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Oh, I should probably say I'm not sponsored by Inland Sea or Adam or anything like that. I just think it's a brilliant idea. And you should also know that in the time you've been watching this, the UK has dumped about 7 tons of